Well, I always say I was a Jewish girl in Salt Lake City. So that, and then I was a fat Jewish girl in Salt Lake City. And everybody, all my friends around me were tall and thin and blonde. And I was like the only dark, fat Jewish girl in Salt Lake City.
She was cancelled by Planet of the Apes culture. But forget about this for now. Let's count the times she was called a racist in mainstream media before the tweet.
Roseanne is back and better than ever at being racist. And I can't figure out why. I just can't put my finger on it. Oh, yes, I can.
Who needs conspiracy theories, fake news, when you have mainstream media? All you have to do is find the news.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Whoa!
We're not actually worried about Iran dropping a nuclear weapon on the United States.
Holy sh! Is that...
Yes, Jack, it's me, Queen Noor from Jordan.
Look, it is true that if Congress sabotages this deal, there would be nothing stopping Iran from getting the bomb. That would likely spark an arms race throughout the region.
Precisely, Ambassador Pickering.
Ultimately, we could be forced into a war with Iran, another dangerous, drawn-out, and expensive conflict in the Middle East with many lives lost. But the agreement currently on the table is the best way to ensure Iran doesn't build a bomb.
And it gives the international community unprecedented access to verify that Iran is keeping up its end of the bargain.
A strong deal built on international diplomacy is the best way forward.
And the alternative to that is war.
War with Iran is a really bad idea.
The worst idea ever.
Look, we all love our children, and the Iranians love their children.
And we've got a deal on the table that keeps us all safe.
Do me a favor, okay? Don't let some hot-headed member of Congress screw that up.
Because playing politics with our national security is actually not all that funny.
Call Congress, tell them, support diplomacy. It's the only sane solution.
Roseanne's tweet proved that we are living in Planet of the Apes, where the ruling class want human beings to be mute. Any human with a sensitive soul would crumble under all this pressure and scrutiny. Not the NSA clerk type, and not the greedy executive type.
Subject of Roseanne came up often during the call. Dungy was asked to share her thoughts about the presumed dig at inclusive comedies Blackish and Fresh Off the Boat in a recent episode, which set off many in the creative community and beyond. Dungy suggested she was a little bit surprised by the reaction to the line, insisting that it wasn't meant to offend. She said, "We thought that the writers were simply tipping their hat to those shows." She added, "That said, I do stand by the Roseanne writers in terms of the decision to include that line. They felt that they were expressing the point of view of the Connors and what they would actually have said." When a reporter asked if she had any concerns about how Barr's own personal politics color the way the comedy is perceived, she responded, "I do think that there's a little bit of that, yes." Going forward, Dungy added that the series would continue to emphasize family over politics. During the otherwise uneventful call, Dungy effectively dodged a question about Blackish creator Kenya Barris's future relationship with her sibling studio, stating only that he was currently under contract there. And as for the Bedtime Stories episode that didn't air earlier this year, Dungy was only slightly more candid. She said, As you know, we've long been supportive of Kenya and his team tackling challenging and controversial issues in the show. And we've always traditionally been able to come to a place creatively where we felt good about the story that he was telling, even if it felt like it was pushing some hot buttons. And he felt that he was getting to share the story in the way it should be shared. She continued, with this particular episode, there were a number of different elements to the episode that we had a hard time coming to terms on. Much has been made about the kneeling part of it, which was not even really the issue, but I don't want to get into that. At the end of the day, this was a mutual decision between Kenya and the network to not put the episode out.
I've been quick to jump to judgment before I knew a story and before I knew the person. And because I know Roseanne Barr when there are no cameras rolling, when no one's listening, and we've had the conversations we've had, I couldn't sit back and let my friend be thrown under the bus and say, oh, well, sis, it's hot right now. See, what people don't know when you call this woman a racist, that was the woman that was fighting for the black promoter. That was the woman that went to the agents and said, how come there's no black promoters taking me out? See, what we don't know is Roseanne Barr is the woman that's behind Brother Muhammad that's trying to put out a Malcolm X documentary. See, we don't know that. We don't know Mr. Lowe, who is the black promoter that was with Roseanne Barr while she was saying, you can't take me out unless you give this brother some of these dates. So when I know that information, Roseanne Barr is the same woman that came on the Monique show. And there are some black artists that we called, and we were told it was too black. It's BET. But when we called Roseanne Barr, this is what she said, where is it and what time? I'm coming for my girl.
We've been critical of Roseanne Barr on this show. Because a lot of people, I think, have been offended with what she said. But I think for you to give that other side of the story, it's a reminder to really everyone out there and us sitting here, like, in order to judge, and we're in a commentary show, so we do give our commentary a lot, but to judge with the full picture when you're talking about people's hearts and things.
I know what it is to be judged, and I have the full picture. I know what it is to have people stand by and say, we'll let the bus run over you. Though we know the truth, we won't say anything. So they say treat people the way you want to be treated. See, I would have wanted Oprah Winfrey. I would have wanted Tyler Perry and Lee Daniels. I would have wanted those people to come out and say, listen, we can't let y'all put this on this woman's head. So the universe said, you got to give what you're asking.
Has that person been in contact with you since that incident happened?
No.
Would you like an apology?
You know what I said at the time, honey, is that, look, this is not about me. I'm fine. I put myself in the arena. That's part of it. You have to have a tough skin. I'm much more worried about the impact that discrimination and racism is having on people who can't speak up for themselves. And so why can't we turn this into a teaching moment?